George, you're kicking us off.
Let's kick off with The Fall Guy. So Fall Guy, new action romantic comedy with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. If anyone follows us, as you probably all do, that's how you discovered us, on social media, you'll see that not only did James was away, but I was able to attend the Fall Guy premiere, which was a lot of good fun. And I was also able to interview the director, David Leitch, and producer, Kelly McCormack. The director, David Leitch, he did Deadpool 2, Atomic Blonde, Bullet Train. And this is kind of another action comedy from him. Nice guys, by the way. Really, really great people.
Ryan Gosling is, I think, probably as famous as he's ever been. Post-Barbie, Fall Guy,
and I'll say
comedy renaissance for him.
He brings a lot of energy to this role. And actually seeing him in the flesh, it was quite cool. You know what it is about Ryan Gosling is that he's not like gorgeously like male model handsome, but you know what he's a very good looking guy. Don't get me wrong. No, I don't think he's like chiseled
type of handsome. I see what you mean. Yeah, continue.
But he's don't get me wrong. He's a very good looking guy. But what it is, he's very cool. Yeah, he's very relaxed. Cool. I was watching him interact with people. John Krasinski also walked right by me.
He's cool, John Krasinski.
He's cool, very nice. My height-ish as well, tall guy. just interesting to see.
That means you're as good looking as him.
And Ryan Gosling was just...
John Krasinski, of course, Emily Blunt the husband of Emily Blunt.
And Emily Blunt was also very cool. Anyway, The Fall Guy. So, The Fall Guy, sort of, I think, loosely inspired by a TV show from the 80s, but the story is about stunts and stunt making on films. Ryan Johnson plays the titular Fall Guy, Colt Seavers, and we begin the film with him in a fling with Jodie, who's Emily Blunt's camera operator. They're working on a film and they have this kind of nice frisson. There's a nice little tracking shot as they're walking through a film set, talking to each other, having a little flirtatious thing. Ryan Gosling is the stunt double for Aaron Taylor-Johnson's massive international action star Tom Ryder. And Aaron Taylor-Johnson in this movie kind of doing a little vague McConaughey, but it's sort of inspired but dumbed down kind of performance. I don't quite know what he's doing with it, but I always like Aaron Taylor-Johnson anyway. Yeah, Hannah Waddingham plays Aaron Taylor-Johnson's producer. She's the one credited with making him a star. And there's this nice sort of like... joke happening where she's very much styled like she's from the 70s. She's got big glasses. Like if anyone knows Bob Evans from Paramount, like has his glasses, big wig wrapped over, and there's this kind of visual joke that she is always like downing Diet Coke, and it's like, oh, it's a Coke addicted producer, but it's Diet Coke. There you go, boom, boom. Anyway, film begins, and then an incident happens that disrupts Ryan Gosling's career. We cut 2 years forward, and he and Emily Blunt are no longer speaking to each other. He is working no longer in the film industry, but then he gets a call, James. He gets a call from Hannah Waddingham's producer who says, Colt, my favorite stunt guy. Hey, what's happening? I need you. And he says, I don't do that anymore. I don't care who's working, who's directing the film. She said, no, you don't understand. I need you to fly to Sydney because we need the best stunt operator we can because the director is Emily Blunt, your ex-girlfriend. She's making her first big-time movie, and she's asked specifically for you. And he's like, wow, this is my chance to get back in. So he flies out to Sydney, and he gets there, and Emily Blunt takes one look at him and says, what the hell are you doing here? I didn't ask for you to be here. Oh, sparks, fly, flirtation, frisson. However, the real reason that he's there, as Hannah Waddingham pulls him aside and says, is her star, Tom Ryder, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, has gone missing, and she needs him, expert Fall Guy, to Ryan Gosling to go and find this action star. Escapades, adventures, stunts, careening through the streets of Sydney on the back of a truck, stunt dogs, people, Stephanie Shu's in it, Winston Duke, lots of stuff happening. It's the Fall Guy. Can him and Emily Blunt reignite their flames before the end of the movie? Can he save the movie? He's like, if I save this movie for Emily Blunt, she'll take me back. It's all there. And just to get the kind of tone of this movie, it begins with a repeat. Well, it repeats this motif throughout, but it begins with "I Was Made for Loving You, Baby" by Kiss. So it's like
great song. My favourite songs.
Yeah, it's great, and it's kind of got that nice 80s kind of big vibe. James, you're about to ask a question.
I was just going to say, there's almost a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood thing. It's not just a stunt man, it's like an everything man.
Yes,
like I belong more than just the stunts. I take the fall in multiple ways than one.
Take Brad Pitt's character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and make him less sinister and a bit more like a pratfalling Buster Keaton. Anyway, so it's an action comedy. Look, I think on the whole, actually, The Fall Guy is very, very fun and solid and really charming. The thing is, I suppose if I just start with the shortcomings, it's 2 hours, only 2 hours, does feel a little bit of a stretch by the end. It's an action comedy. I would say that it's quite light on actual laughs. There are lots of jokes, but I can't. I saw it in a screening room in which I thought there would be people laughing, and no one really.
It's a chuckler.
It's a chuckler.
Yeah.
It's a chuckler. It's a and some good chuckles, but. So light on comedy, but it's big on charm. That's the thing. Light on laughs, but big on charm. This is a movie that is kind of made with a big grin on its face. That's very much about in love with filmmaking and celebrating the craft and the hard work that goes in behind it, which we're all for. We all love to see it.
Very underexplored side of filmmaking as well.
Totally.
Unsung heroes.
I mean, and the conversation that's going around this film at the moment is that why is there no stunt for? Sorry,
you just made me panic.
Yeah. The big conversation that's going on around about this movie at the moment is why there are no Oscars for stunts.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous for stunt performers. I think what works is, first of all, as an action comedy, even though, like I said, a couple of the lines aren't like lols, it's chuckler, the comedy is the action and the action is the comedy. And David Leitch knows how to direct a good action sequence. He actually used to be a stunt performer himself.
Right.
And the action scenes are very funny in the way they are slapstick and choreographed. And the comedic scenes are when the action happens. So it's like, as an action comedy, I like the fact that it's all about the movement and the action of people. So this sort of central chase that happens through the streets of Sydney with Ryan Gosling on the back of a truck is quite comedic, but it's very well done. I also think that it's strange to say this. It's almost like a backhanded compliment, but everyone in this film is doing very good work. Everyone's perfectly fine. I think Emily Blunt is great, and the other guys are all cool. But despite everyone else doing lots of work, it does actually still rest on Ryan Gosling's shoulder. Even though it's being sold as like a double bill for the two of them, he is the titular fall guy, and he makes this film. He really does.
He's got great comedy chops.
He does have great comedy chops. If anyone's seen The Nice Guys or
his recent work with SNL as well, it's really funny.
SNL stuff's really
Papyrus
funny.
2 is like an 8-minute sketch that totally sustains its runtime as a sketch. It's brilliant.
But yeah, Barbie, The Nice Guys, Crazy Stupid Love. Ryan Gosling has good comedic chops, and he's good. He's actually really good physical comedian as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes when the action scenes, I was like, yeah, it's kind of like Buster Keaton here. It's kind of like it's got a kind of cinema heritage, having him be a pratfall.
Because he was also funny in films like The Big Short, where he's not overtly funny,
Yes.
but he's delivering gags.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could see the evolution totally from there. But
Yeah.
can I ask, do you prefer Place Beyond the Pines Ryan Gosling to Barbie Fall Guy Ryan Gosling, or do you hope that these are both going to be? Do you think you sort of flip flops?
I hope they can coexist. But right now, I am enjoying comedic Ryan Gosling.
Me too.
Because he's kind of got a little bit of deadpan, but also very good physical comedy. I'm enjoying him, and that's the kind of he is the centerpiece of this movie.
Yeah.
It's not like it's all falling apart around him, but he is the linchpin. Emily Blunt still very good. Don't get me wrong,
star.
but he's doing it very well. I think that it's, like I said, it's kind of breezy and it's got a lot of charm. I think it does kind of run out of steam towards the end. Okay. This is going to sound like the most backhanded, damning with faint praise thing I could say about it. But in 6 months' time, great to watch on a plane. Great movie for a plane. Now, I know we often say, like,
I haven't seen it, but I concur.
We look at it and we go, look at some films, you go, like, oh yeah, that's a good plane movie. And I'm like, this is a great one. And I think, James, when you next go on your long, big trip and you walk to the back to go use the loo and you look at everyone's screens, I think The Fall Guy will be on a lot of people's screens.
A great shout.
Because it's action,
good
comedy, romance.
When you're swiping through
It's colourful, it's kind of breezy, and I think people will go, oh yeah, The Fall Guy.
Easy commitment. Yeah, that's fun.
So there you go. There you have it. It's The Fall Guy. It's fine. It's charming. Not as funny as it needs to be, but it's got a lot of good vibes.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of good vibes.
Interesting sort of mixture genre of like sort of comedy, action comedy. I know the action is sort of very much like it's cinema fake action, but I'd be interested to see how well it does and if you guys go to see it.
Yes, because they've really gone big with it with the
marketing, like bold primary colours, glossy shoot, explosions,
and I think their attitude is just like, look. She was in Oppenheimer. He was in Barbie. They're two of the biggest.
Can I make it any more obvious?
Yes. Let's just go for it. The trailer is appallingly. It shows basically everything.
Shame.
It's one particular shot, and I'm just like, yeah, that was in the trailer. Why the hell did you put that in the trailer?
Yeah.
They've gone really big with that. It'll be interesting to see if it makes a lot of money.
Yeah, but if you guys have seen it and you had thoughts and you wanted to write in with your reviews, your thoughts, your questions, or concerns about Fall Guy, as always, we would love to read them out on the show. You can send them into hello@popkitchenpodcast.com.
There's also one thing, this has been starting to be picked up now, but when I watched it, there's one joke in it about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard that I was like, it's very throwaway, it's very quick, and I was like, oh.
Too soon, maybe?
I was just like, that, well, I think it's more like, that joke trivializes
trashy.
what that whole situation was about. And even though that situation ended up being publicly resolved in a different way, I still think we shouldn't make light of that in the way that this did. Anyway,
interesting. Yeah, I'll be looking out for that. I will go and try and see it because it looks like fun.
It's easy watch. There you go. The Fall Guy.